Your oven door isn't just stained, it is covered in a layer of accidental plastic. Every time you roast a chicken, grease splatters onto that 400-degree glass, bakes into a hardened shell, and completely blocks out the light. The standard advice is to buy an $8 can of toxic aerosol foam that forces you to open every window in your house just to breathe. The fix costs about 20 cents, and it's a hard powder dishwasher pod sitting under your sink right now. But if you grab a squishy liquid gel pack instead of the hard powder, you will just create a slippery, useless puddle on your floor. The safe method takes 2 minutes to understand. I didn't believe it either until I tried it on my own oven, and the glass went perfectly transparent on the first try. Today, I'll show you 3 things: why the expensive sprays physically bounce off the grime, the specific mechanical motion to shatter the stain, and the one strict rule you need to protect your oven's rubber seal, which is the most critical part of this whole operation. You are told to buy a dedicated heavy-duty degreaser. The problem is that $8 can of foam is a chemical sledgehammer. The manufacturers are selling you a highly specialized caustic chemical because specialized chemicals have massive profit margins. A 20-cent block of compressed detergent doesn't make them any money, so it never makes it into the owner's manual. They didn't invent a better way to clean tempered glass. They invented a dedicated product category to sell you something you don't need. Here's why the obvious approach fails on contact before we get to the fix. When cooking grease splatters onto a 400-degree oven window, it doesn't just dry out. It undergoes a process called polymerization. To a chemist, that is a fundamental structural shift in the molecules. To you and your kitchen, it means the liquid fat has baked itself into a hard protective shell of plastic right over the glass. You've seen this your whole life when a drop of sugary teriyaki sauce spills onto a hot stove top. It doesn't stay liquid, and it doesn't just wipe away with a wet sponge. It boils, hardens, and turns into an impenetrable piece of black rock candy. That is what is happening to the grease on your oven door. When you spray a standard liquid cleaner onto that crust, physics immediately works against you. The solvent just slides right over the top of the hardened dome. It cannot penetrate the shell, so you spray more, you let it sit, and it just pools at the bottom of the door. You do not need to dissolve the surface, you need to physically fracture it. This is where the cheap dishwasher pod bypasses the expensive aerosol. A compressed powder pod is densely packed and mildly abrasive. When you use it correctly, it acts like a sacrificial pumice stone. As you drag the hard edge against the glass, it relies on pure mechanical friction to shatter the surface tension of the carbon. It cracks the armor. And the moment it fractures that top layer, it delivers a highly concentrated dose of baked food enzymes directly into the cracks, straight to the root of the stain. You are no longer fighting everyday grime. You are trying to dissolve a synthetic resin. Liquid chemicals just bounce off the armor. The hard powder breaks it open from the outside in. But how you prep the powder determines whether it shatters the carbon or just makes a mess. Here is the critical part. The specific physical motion matters, and if you get the water ratio wrong, you ruin the tool. First, verify your tool. You must use a hard compressed powder pod. If you try to scrub with a liquid gel pack, there's no dry edge to grip. It just smears the soap into a puddle before it ever touches the carbon. The cheap ones. Get a small bowl of warm tap water. Do not drop the pod into the bowl. If you submerge it, the powder immediately dissolves, the structural integrity of the block collapses, and you are left holding a handful of useless mush. Instead, pinch the dry pod and dip just the bottom edge, maybe a quarter of an inch, into the warm water for a single second. You want a dry handle and a barely wet working edge. Take that wet edge directly to the blackest part of your oven glass. Press firmly and start rubbing in small, tight circles. You will immediately feel the grit. It feels like you are sanding the window. That is the physical friction breaking the carbon surface tension. As you rub, the edge of the pod will slowly grind itself down. It mixes with the warm water and the fractured grease to form a thick, gritty paste right on top of the glass. That paste is doing the chemical labor. The friction opened the door, and now the concentrated enzymes are flooding into the carbon, melting the polymerized fat from the inside out. Work in small patches, maybe 6 inches across. When the edge of the pod wears completely flat and stops feeling gritty, Dip it back into the water for just 1 second to activate the next layer of powder and keep going. Now, the cleanup is just as important as the scrub. You have to wipe that slurry away immediately. Take a damp paper towel and wipe the glass clean while the paste is still wet. If you let that highly concentrated soap sit there and dry, it will bake itself into a harsh white crust the next time you turn the oven on. Wipe it while it's wet, then do a final pass with a clean microfiber cloth to pull up any leftover residue. I can hear the objection from here. Won't grinding a gritty brick of powder directly into the door permanently scratch the tempered glass? No. And the hardness scale is the reason. The compressed soap is drastically softer than the engineered glass of your oven. It is engineered to gracefully grind itself down against the door, leaving the surface untouched while taking the grime with it. You aren't scratching the window, you're erasing the carbon. One honest limitation that belongs here: this method only works on hard, flat surfaces. It is brilliant for the glass and the flat enamel bottom. It is useless for wire racks or tight corners where a square block cannot reach. Now, the second problem. Fixing the glass doesn't mean you can be careless with the door. There is one strict safety rule you must follow. Do not let the concentrated paste touch the rubber door gasket. The enzymes that dissolve baked on fat will eat right through that soft rubber seal. If that gasket degrades, your oven loses its ability to trap heat, and its energy draw jumps 10 to 15%. Keep the pod at least an inch away from the edges. Wipe up any stray slurry immediately. Treat the rubber like a hard border. So why doesn't the manual mention any of this? Because oven manufacturers have partnerships with chemical companies, not detergent makers. But here is the recap in one breath. You skip the $8 aerosol can of lye that requires open windows and heavy gloves. You grab a 20-cent block of hard powder. You dip just the edge in warm water, grind it in tight circles to shatter the carbon armor, wipe the slurry away while it is still wet, and you keep it strictly away from the rubber seal. That is the entire operation. For years, I just accepted that my oven was going to have a permanent brown shadow on the glass because I refused to fumigate my kitchen to fix it. I didn't realize the precise tool I needed was sitting quietly in my dishwasher the whole time. Your oven window is not ruined. It is just protected by a layer of plasticized fat, and liquid sprays will never break the armor. Send this to the friend who thinks their baked-on oven door is a lost cause, and save them a trip to the chemical aisle. See you in the next one.